you ever felt like the world around you is constantly shifting, but wondered if it's really the outside world that's changing, or is it your mind? The way we perceive reality is often a reflection of what's happening inside us. Welcome to the Motivation Zone at Freedom. Today, we're going to explore a powerful concept, the true nature of the mind. What if the changes we think we see around us are not in the external world, but within us? Join me as we dive into how our minds shape the way we experience life and how understanding this can bring clarity and peace. Let's start with a well-known Zen story. Two monks were standing together, watching a flag waving in the wind. One monk confidently said, "Look, the flag is moving." The other disagreed, saying, "No, it's the wind that's moving." As they argued back and forth, a Zen master walked by and interrupted their debate. He calmly said, "Not the wind, not the flag, the mind is moving." This simple yet profound statement left both monks speechless and revealed a much deeper truth about the nature of our experience. On the surface, the monks were debating what seemed like an ordinary observation, whether it was the flag or the wind that was moving. This is something we can all relate to, seeing the world around us, making judgments, and forming opinions about what is happening. The two monks were caught up in their interpretations, focusing on the external reality they perceived. However, the Zen master's insight pointed to a deeper truth. What was truly moving wasn't the flag or the wind, but their minds. The Zen master's words highlighted that our perception of the world is not just about what we observe with our senses, but also how our minds interpret and react to those observations. The flag and the wind were simply external objects, but the argument arose from within the minds of the monks. This illustrates that our experience of reality is shaped by our own mental activity. The story is a reminder that our thoughts, emotions, and interpretations often dictate how we see the world, and sometimes, it's not the world that's changing, it's our mind's movement that creates the illusion of change. The mind is a powerful tool that is constantly at work, interpreting the world around us. From the moment we wake up, it begins to label, categorize, and judge every experience, shaping our perception of reality. The mind doesn't simply observe, it adds layers of meaning, interpretation, and emotion to every event we encounter. Whether it's something as simple as a flag moving in the wind or a complex situation in our personal lives, the mind is always creating a narrative. This relentless activity of the mind shapes not only our thoughts but our emotions and behaviors as well. At its core, the mind is the perceiver of all external events. It is through the mind that we experience the world, and without it, there is no reality as we know it. Everything we see, hear, feel, and think is filtered through the mind's lens, making it the architect of our subjective experience. The Zen master's insight, that it wasn't the flag or the wind moving, but the mind, shows that reality isn't something outside of us, it's something created by our perception of external events. By understanding this, we begin to realize that the world we experience is shaped by the state of our mind. This Zen story offers a profound lesson for everyday life. Just like the monks, we often get caught up in the external world, whether it's the actions of others, the situations we find ourselves in, or even the passing of time. We argue with reality, trying to control or change what's outside of us, when in truth, much of our struggle stems from our mind's interpretation. How often do we let our minds spin stories, creating frustration, stress, or even joy from events that, in reality, are neutral? It's the movement of our mind that colors these experiences. Mindfulness is a powerful practice that can help us observe the movement of our mind without getting swept up in it. By becoming aware of how our thoughts and perceptions shape our reality, we can step back and watch the mind at work. This allows us to break free from automatic reactions and habitual thinking, giving us the clarity to see things as they truly are. The lesson of the Zen master is that by observing the mind, rather than identifying with its constant movement, we can find peace and freedom in the present moment. This practice helps us navigate life with greater awareness, understanding that the true source of our experience is not the world itself, but how our mind perceives it.
The key lesson from the Zen master's teaching is this: the mind is always in motion, constantly interpreting and reacting to everything we experience. It's easy to get caught up in these mental movements, mistaking them for the truth of reality. But real peace doesn't come from trying to control or change what's outside of us. It comes from observing the mind itself. When we can step back and simply watch the mind's constant activity without getting swept up in it, we unlock a deeper sense of clarity and calm. The practice is not about stopping the mind from moving, but about becoming aware of that movement and understanding its impermanent nature. As you move forward in your day, I invite you to reflect on your own mind's movements. Pay attention to how your thoughts, perceptions, and emotions shape your experience of the world. The next time you find yourself reacting to something external, pause for a moment and observe how your mind is interpreting the situation. Are you seeing the flag or the wind? Or is it your mind that's moving? If this resonates with you, I encourage you to practice mindfulness or meditation. Start by simply sitting in silence and watching your thoughts as they come and go. Remember, peace lies in observing the mind, not in controlling it. Thank you for joining me today, and if you found value in this video, feel free to subscribe for more insights from the Motivation Zone at Freedom. Stay mindful, my friends.